we're going to talk a little bit about Atlas, which is our membership database and online cloud-based system. And first thing I want to say when we get into this is that I do feel like there are some good ways that county leaders could use Atlas to have information that they're readily at their disposal. And doesn't mean in any way that we are not still dedicated to getting you whatever you need, membership lists, current status of members, email lists, whatever you need. Your regional managers are still more than willing to provide those. But we hope that in this next half hour, we show you some ways that this could be useful for you. You should have received from me this morning some instructions on login, and that's the first thing that Tara's going to take you through here. That includes your credentials. But if for some reason, when you get a chance to go ahead and log on here, maybe try out some of the things we want to show you and it doesn't work, I'm at your disposal to make sure that you can access this information. But one of the great things I like about this system is that it's cloud-based. So that means anywhere that you have an internet access, anywhere you have internet access, you can actually get a hold of it and take a look at this membership database system and find out whether a member is active or get a group list for a committee or whatever you need to do. So anywhere you have a phone, a tablet, a smart TV, an Xbox, PlayStation, Kindle Fire, you name it, you can access your membership list. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Tara, and she's going to take you through she's going to walk you through the process of logging on to Atlas with information that I'd sent out this morning. And just let me know at some point whether or not, if you didn't get that, and I will make sure that you get whatever you need to be able to access the Atlas system. So thank you, and take it away, Tara.
Thanks, Scott. Just to start off, can everyone see my Atlas login screen? Okay, perfect. I introduced myself in the beginning, but my name is Tara. You probably know me as the gal who always emails you all those transmittal nonsense emails in the middle of the month. I am the office manager here, and Scott and I do a lot of work with our membership database called Atlas. So I'm going to take you through this first part of just getting started and some of the basics. As you can see on my screen, Atlas is, you'll go to the mt.fbatlas.com, and that's where it'll take you directly to this login screen. Right here for your username is that username that Scott sent you. It's probably your email. And then we have been provided you a temporary password to set up your account. And so the first thing you'll do then is just put in that temporary password. And so I'll do that. Hit login. And then it's going to immediately take you to this screen. And so this is for you to reset your password so that Scott and I don't have your password and you can create your own. So right here, you'll just put in your old password. That's the one that Scott and I gave you. And then the next two will be your new password. So then you'll click change password. Okay. So then basically what it's going to do is it's going to pop you back out and it's going to ask you to log in again using that new password. And if you're using a personal computer, you can click remember me so you don't have to type it in every time. All right. So then it's going to take you to this next multi-factor authentication screen. And so you can choose how you would like it to contact you, but this is just going to make sure that it is you trying to access this information and not someone trying to hack into your account. So I want it to text me. So I will put in my phone number that can receive texts. Okay. And so like I said before, if you have a personal computer or like me, a company computer, basically a computer that no one else is using, You can click this. If you're on a public computer, like at the library or something, then you'll click this first option. And looky here on my phone, looks like I've got a number. And so when I put it in, it's going to automatically submit it and take me to then your dashboard. So there's no enter button or whatnot. So if you put in the wrong number, it's going to immediately tell you that that's wrong and not let you go forward. But if it's right, then you get to go to your dashboard. And so this is going to be the first page when you're logging in that you go to. This is going to be basically a standing board for a bunch of activities that you are, engaged with on Atlas. The first thing I wanted to show you guys is that over here on the right-hand corner, you have a little button called Dashboard Settings. If you click that, you'll see here it says counties, and you can click that. And you will then have an option to select your county. So say I'm in Bighorn County, I'm the Bighorn County president, and I want to click that. I click that. And then what Atlas is going to do is it's going to add all of this information to your dashboard. And this is all the information for your county. So every time you log in, that's going to be updated and show up, and so you can keep an eye on it. Set that as my default if that's what I want. And so I'll take you through this first page here really quick. So over here on the right underneath dashboard settings is going to be your recent activity tab. So this is going to show anything that you have gotten into in Atlas. So say you looked up someone's name yesterday, they wanted to know if they paid their dues and you were in their account, and then today you think, oh man, what was their name? I can't remember who it was. Look right here in your recent activity, their name will be there. This also works for events and deposits and most anything else that you have done. So it's a really quick, easy way to get back into what you were working on. Reminders down here, this is a tool that you can, I'm sure can infer that it reminds you. It's like a little sticky note tab. So if you have a general reminder, you can add a reminder here. You can also attach reminders to certain accounts, which I will show you when we get into someone's account, and then they'll pop up right here. So you'll be able to see, I need to send membership brochures to so-and-so, let me do that right now. Right here, you have a tab for upcoming events. And so if you're hosting a county event and you create that event in Atlas, it's going to tab that right here so that you have easy access to get into that. And it's also just a reminder that, hey, you've got a county board meeting coming up on this date. And this is who's registered for it. And then last right here, this is open batches. And when they say batches, they're talking about a deposit. So this is something that you probably won't use, but you never know. This is if someone's say giving you dues payment or a event payment, you can open a deposit batch right here, and then it'll tell you if that's open or not over here. But like I said, this one might not be something you're in so much. Okay, and then over here on the left, you have this first graph. This is going to just show you how your membership is going. And a cool kind of factor that you have here is that if you hover your cursor over this right here, it's going to tell you exactly what's going on. So you'll see these little question marks in quite a few places on Atlas, so that if you can't remember quite what something is, try hovering your cursor over it, and it usually will tell you what it is. So this is membership by class, and this says that your data reflects current member year by class. And then down here, what does this arrow mean? Oh, this is new members since 10/1 of 2021. So that's you are up to in Bighorn County. And then over to the right, again, memberships that are going to expire by September 30th of 2022, and that's 17. This is a little button that you can just use in order to get this image. Say if you wanted to put it in a report or use its data, you can extract it through here. And again, hover your cursor over, it'll tell you, yep, they have 93 active members. 50 of those are voting, 42 are associate, and 1 is a student, and so on. Down here, this is going to tell you your current, your county yearly membership goals. Again, you can hover your mouse over that to, if you forget. And so again, here is just all your, you can show you your projection, where you're at right now, where you've been in the past, and how that kind of compares. And then you have this little button right here, which is called download data. This is another one that's going to show up on a lot of different files that you might be going into in Atlas. And this is super handy because if you click on this, it will basically give you an Excel file right here. And it gives you all of this data that you're looking at. And so, you know, this is really great, particularly when you're looking at, well, Scott will show you some membership reports. It'll give you names, emails, in this case, it's giving you numbers that are broken down if you need it in a report. And so super useful tool. I use it absolutely all the time. Okay. So next up, we're going to go to probably what you will frequent the most in Atlas. It is going to be accounts. And so that's going to be this first button right here with this little cute briefcase. So we'll click on that. And so this is an area in Atlas where if you need to search someone's account, this is where you're going to go. So if you need to look up any membership information, you want to see their account, you're going to go here. And so this search bar is going to be kind of where you search from the get-go. So say I wanted to search for Mr. Casey Mott. I could say, okay, I wanted to see anyone with C. Mott. Look that up. There he is. I can also search by their account number right here. So if you have, say, someone from insurance calls you and it has a question, they only have an account number, or say you can't figure out how to spell someone's name, go ahead and put their member or their account number in here. And like, as you can see, if you, again, can't figure out someone's name, maybe don't know what their first name is, you can search by just last name. You can search by just their initials. So CM. And so you might pull more people that way, but at least then you can kind of say, okay, well, you know, these are all the people that have a first name starting with a J and their last name is Smith. And it's a little bit easier to find. So then to get into this account, you'll see account number right here to click on. Oh, I forgot one thing. Apologies. Advanced search over here. If you say you can't find someone by just using their name or their account number, you can click on advanced search right here. And then this opens up this area where you have a lot other, details that you can search by. So you can search by just your Century Club members. You can search by agent. The one I use this the most for is policy number. If someone only has their policy number and I need to search them, I'll search it right here. Or say someone called you and you or texted you and you're not exactly sure who it is, you can search their phone number if it's in the database. Okay, so let's go back into Casey's file. So you'll see here, this is their membership overview. The name of the account holder is going to be up here. So you'll see Casey Mott is the spouse at this account. And then the account holder over here is going to be Nomad Cattle Company and Rebecca Colnar right up here. So if you're using this drop-down menu, it's going to default to the account holder for their business name. But if you need their first and last name, it'll just be right down here. And each account is allowed to have 2 adults on it. And then you are also allowed to have children on accounts, but they have to be under the age of 21. So there's no limit to how many children can be on someone's account, but they're only allowed to be 2 adults on each account. And you can look over here and you'll see he's a part of Bighorn County. And here's his membership number. Now, again, over to the right, you're going to see this date right here, and that is their expiration date. And again, you can hover your mouse over it and it'll tell you, what does this mean? So if they're green, they're active. And if they're yellow, they're expired. If they're blue, they're pending. That means that they have made an account, but they haven't made a payment yet. So they're not, we have their information, but they're not an active member yet. And then if they're gray, that means they're inactive. And members become inactive when they have been expired for 18 months. And so you see here, Mr. Casey and Mr. Becca, they are going to be all set here until 31st of October in 2022. Okay. Under here, you can see more information about their actual membership, that they're voting Century Plus members, and that they have been members with us, at least in a database, because some people go back further than that, but in the database since 1995. And then down here, you'll see then their contact information. So here is the contact email they've given us and their phone numbers. This stuff is extremely important to have in the database, and it's extremely important to have updated. So if you say are in contact with someone and you go into their account and you see that something here is incorrect, feel free to go in and change that, as long as obviously the account holder is okay with it. But this information, we pull from lots of different sources for everything to events to our contact books here at the state office. So us having the most up-to-date information is very important. And so how to do that is just click edit and then edit whatever you need to and then click save. Below here at the bottom, you'll see we have different boxes for their mailing address, their billing address, and then you can even put in a physical address if there's, say you have a PO box mailing address, but you want to give us your physical address too. You can add that, and you can, if they don't have it, you can see that I just clicked edit, and then it pops up there, and then you change it, and you can click save. And you'll see this little box right here. That just means that the post office is verified this is a real address. So sometimes you'll see a yellow unverified checkbox right there. And so that can mean a bunch of different things. Usually it means it's a new build and the post office hasn't recognized it yet. But if it's yellow, then maybe you want to contact them first and make sure they can get mail at whatever address they've given us. Over here to the right, we have insurance information. So this is for if you have a policy with Mountain West, it's going to connect to Atlas and is going to be, as up to date as the Mountain West agent has, submitted. And so you can see here, his agent is Lloyd, Lloyd's phone number and email, and then you can see their policy number right here. And again, hover over this, it's green, so that means he has met requirements for his insurance service. If it's yellow, that means that they have not.
And just one real quickly, that just means that they are current in their membership. It's a policy that requires, it's a service that requires a membership. So that's all the information we can access on that.
Yes, absolutely, Scott. Usually if this is not met and it's yellow, that usually means that this guy's yellow up here too, and that they're not current on their dues. Okay, and then as you can see, there's lots and lots of tabs over here. If you're someone who likes to explore, feel free to go explore that. The great thing about Atlas is we can store lots and lots of data about, members to, use for various different things, like what they do in their operation, who else they know that are farm members, maybe they're related to them. Here's that reminders tab that I had told you about right here, where if you click it, you can add a reminder to a specific account. So that's really great. And then, but the thing I think that you guys will all use the most is payment history. So say someone calls you up or you're doing your, expired list at the end of the year for membership recruitment, and you want to see, okay, when did this person last pay? And so then you go to that payments tab over here on the left, and then you go to history. And then here you can see their payment history. And so you can see here, we received Casey and Rebecca's 22 2022 dues on November 2nd of this year. And then they have their amount. And if you need to email them receipt, you can click right here. Pops up a really awesome tab where it automatically puts their email in, but if you need it to go somewhere else, you can always change it and it breaks it down for them. You can also print that off here on the bottom left corner. Or if you maybe need some other details for this, like notes or anything, you can open it up over here. Okay. And that's all I'm going to run you guys through. Again, if you want to explore this, or say you're in Atlas for any reason and you're a little bit confused on where to go, or there's something in here that I didn't go over that you would like me to, please feel free to call the office and reach out. I would be happy to go through it with you. Scott and I spent weeks learning this whole new system, and so it's a lot to digest in just, what do we have, 30 minutes? So don't hesitate to reach out to me or Scott to go over any of this information.
Thanks, Tara. And I'll just stop real quickly to see if anybody has any questions so far. Let's go ahead and
I did put something in the chat. If you didn't see it, the regional managers are all really happy to continue running these reports. I know that this might be a little overwhelming for some of you that aren't used to something that looks like this. So we're happy to, if you shoot us a text and say, hey, did Joe pay his membership? Is he up to date? Whatever, things like that. We're happy to look into it for you too.
Yeah, so if I'm going to keep going in the interest of time, but if you have a question, please put it in the chat and one of the staff members will interrupt me and we'll go over that question. A lot of things that we could go over with, and Tara, I need to share my screen now. Let's see here. I'm sorry. Let's go ahead and go to the dashboard. And can you see my dashboard? All right. So we can talk about, Tara went over accounts. We could talk about involvements, deposits, communications, which includes emails. We'll talk about that real briefly, but you probably won't have access to tools or configure, so that way you can go in here without having any fear of messing anything up. But I'm going to talk to you a bit about reports, and here's where you can get to reports. Once you start going into these, they will be into your recent activity, but to start with, you're going to go to reports and dashboard. And dashboard is populated with what the Atlas folks feel like are the essential reports that you would like to see no matter what. I mean, just as a default. But if you've got something that's not on here, the great thing about this being cloud-based in real time is that you can just ask your regional manager or us, and we can do a custom report for you, and then we can actually share that right onto your dashboard. So it's kind of nice. So you can see some of the ones, and they'll be ordered by the ones that you've looked at the most recent. The first one I want to show you, which I think is very valuable, is membership status. In membership status, say I want to look at who's current in the Farm Bureau, and I can sort by all these things up here. The key to these sorts are that once you begin, if something shows up in orange, it's required. So I'm going to just start off with showing you a basic active search. And you can see here that it's going to require counties. So this time I just want to look again at Bighorn County. I could look at, if I was looking at expired, I could choose a certain date when they're expired for. So for instance, if I wanted to see all of the voting members who expired on the 1st of October, I could run that report. But for this, and I could, without choosing anything here from membership class, it's going to give me associate and voting and student. But say I want to search active voting members, I just click on that voting. I could say I only want to know active voting Century Plus members, but for simplicity's sake, I'm not going to choose anything there. And nothing else is in orange, so I've chosen enough to get my report. At this point, you just click search and it will do its little thinking thing. And you can see in this instance, I got just one second, I've got 50 active voting members in Bighorn County. And now you've run the report, you might ask yourself, now what do I want to do with this, or how do I act upon this report? This button up on the top right, export, will allow you to export it into a Excel file. And depending on your browser, that file will show up in different places. And you can see on my browser here, it just put it on the bottom ribbon. If you don't see that, you could also always go up to these three little buttons and look at the downloads, because it's going to put it in your download folder. So at that point, I've got an Microsoft Excel file that I should look at, and I can work with, do anything I want with. And so that's kind of handy. And then the other things that you can do, and what I'm going to show you here in a little bit, is you can add them right to an email, which I think is great. For the interest of time, I'm just going to show you one more. And that's what I think is pretty important. And at any point, if you don't see what you're looking for, or you want quick access, I can just start searching, and it's going to show whatever report that for whatever I search for. So in this case, I'm going to search for new, and I want to look up at new members. So all I need to do is I need to put in a date of when they were processed, and basically that means added to the database. So if I want to find any new member from any county farm bureau who started as of October 1st, and then maybe today's current date, you can see that I've got enough right now that I could do my search. But maybe I want to break it down into Fergus County members who are new and who are voting, who started after 10/1. And right now I could do my search, but maybe I also want to look at the membership year. So I could choose 2022 and hit the search button. It's going to do its thinking thing. And I can see here that I've got 9 new voting members in Fergus County that were joined since, that are put into our database since the 10/1. At this point, I could export it, or I could shoot those people into an email. Maybe I also want to work retention, so I could go back to that that reporting dashboard and the membership status, and I could, instead of active, I could just do expired and my county, and then I would be able to export a list of every member who's voting, for instance, who is not renewed, and I could use that to craft a mail merge letter or a postcard, or even an email. So that's pretty handy. And so one other way that I want to show you how you could use this, and I know I'm running short on time, but I think this is a very useful tool, is emails. So if I go back up to communication and I hit emails, it's going to get me into a list of all the emails that I've created. So at first, this will be blank for you, but all I have to do to create one is come over here and click this add email button. Now, email description, I just fill this out. The description is just for me, so that I remember what I'm looking for as far as this email that I'm going to create. The email subject, though, is what the member will actually see when you send this email. So maybe I want to call this, please renew your Farm Bureau membership. And for me, it would be state office, but for you, it probably would be your individual county. And then the category here is kind of important, because a member can choose to opt out of a certain type of communication. So maybe they don't want to get everything that we send out about legislative issues or political action or whatnot. They can choose that. So I do need to select a category. And for this, I'm just going to put County Farm Bureau information, and then you just click the add. So at this point, I'm almost where I need to be. I've got my description here. I've got the sender. Reply to email is important, because this will dictate, if they have a question, where the email will go when they reply. So I might just put in here, scottk@mfbf.org. Send date's cool, because if I just want to send it now, I just click that and it'll send it at its earliest convenience once I choose to. But maybe I don't want this to go out until Monday, and I can just choose the date there. Here again, the subject. You don't have to worry about anything in here, because that's just for analytics, and it really is not necessary unless you really want to track something. if I'd have chosen the county up front rather than state office, for instance, Fergus, it would actually have your Fergus County Farm Bureau logo here. So that's really pretty cool. And then you just start typing in your email and in the body here. And if I've got something ready to go, I could just easily cut and paste it, but I might just say, hi, member, please renew. And one thing I do want to mention when you're working with an email is to click save quite often, because if you move away from this for some reason and you've done all this and you've got your email in your body, you could lose that. So you do want to save quite a little bit. So I could have continued to type as much as I want, but for the purpose of this training, I'm not going to get too far into that. But now you might be asking yourself, okay, great. How do I send it to people that I want to get this email? Well, two ways. Over here, you've got message, which is what we're on now. And then you've got people. And so if I click on people, I can simply just add person there and search for member there. And just like that, I can add Carl to this email. So now he's going to get this email. And or what I was showing you about before with the reports, I'm going to jump around a little bit here. Say I wanted to do this membership status, and I wanted everybody who has expired in Fergus County Farm Bureau, and I don't care when they're expired, but I only want to send this to voting members. And I just can run that report just like that. And then you can see they're all yellow because they're expired. It's as simple as hitting this communications button and adding to email. And then you can see it's going to ask you which email you want to add it to. And I want to add it to this test retention. And as simple as that, it's going to add all these people to that email. So now I'm back at my email. You can see it's the one we were working on. And I've got 118 people in this email. I'm not going to push send because all those people would really, from Fergus County, would really get this email right now. But I do want to save it. And at some point, I want to test it and see what it looks like. And I can do that. It's not allowing me right now. I must have something that I've got incomplete. But anyway, one other cool thing that I want to show you is that hi member, not very personal. So if I'm messing around with up here, I could do anything from insert a payment link to a picture, but this right here is really pretty cool. If I hit that select, I basically get mail merge options. So I could hit first name, and now when my email is going to be a little bit more personalized. Now I can save that, test it, send it to myself, see if it looks good. And then when I'm finally ready, I can just push this send. And again, I'm not going to do that because it would, but you kind of get the picture. And that's really quick and dirty. And I understand I went really fast over that. But we just wanted to show you, and hopefully you had an idea that there's some really cool things you can do with Atlas to help you manage your membership or your contacts or invite people to your county annual meeting. Just a slew of things. You can really start to use your imagination on how you would be able to use this.